Let's bring God back into our lives. That is what President Trump exhorted the country to do at this morning's National Prayer Breakfast.
Thomas Jefferson himself once attended Sunday services held in the old House chamber on the very ground where I stand today. So there could be nothing more beautiful than for us to gather in this majestic place. It is majestic, and reaffirm that America is and will always be one nation under God. At every stage of the American story, our country has drawn hope and courage and inspiration from our trust in the Almighty. Deep in the soul of every patriot is the knowledge that God has a special plan and a glorious mission for America. And that plan is going to happen. It's going to happen. I hope it happens sooner rather than later. It's going to happen. And it's His hand that guides us every single step of the way. And all of you and the things we have to do is to see the defining role that faith and prayer have played in the life of our nation. And you just have to look at this building, and you can look at each other. You can really look at each other. It's defined almost everyone in this room. I think faith has been very strong with the people in this room.
Have you heard any president, or any political leader for that matter, talk so openly about God, and in a real way, not in a hidden terms kind of way meant to placate everyone, Christian, non-Christian, and secular atheist alike? So it's refreshing to hear, especially after what Vice President J.D. Vance pledged yesterday at the International Religious Freedom Summit.
America get to the point where we're sending hundreds of thousands of taxpayer dollars abroad to NGOs that are dedicated to spreading atheism all over the globe. That is not what leadership on protecting the rights of the faithful looks like. And it ends with this administration. And I'd add that part of our protecting religious freedom initiatives means recognizing in our foreign policy the difference between regimes that respect religious freedom and those that do not. The United States must be able to make that distinction. We must be able to look at the catastrophes, like the plight of Iraq's Christians over the past 3 decades, and possess the moral clarity to act when something has gone wrong.
Now, when it comes to the National Prayer Breakfast, which began back in 1953, Democrats like Congressman Jared Huffman of California are protesting it on the grounds that it is an unprecedented assault on the separation between church and state. Does he really think we're all that stupid? Clinton, Obama, Biden, they all went to this as well. Bill and Hillary Clinton even got roasted on abortion by the now Saint Mother Teresa back in 1994. And the separation between church and state doesn't exist in the Constitution. It was something Thomas Jefferson wrote on the side to the Danbury Baptists, who were afraid that a state religion would be implemented that could lead to them being persecuted. What Jefferson promised was that no one Christian sect would rule supreme. That doesn't mean that politicians leave God at the door when they travel to D.C. Not at all. Those are two entirely separate things. All the founding fathers, even the ones we consider to be strong deists today, were constantly invoking the God of the Bible and calling on His great benediction and guidance in their approach to political affairs. So all Congressman Huffman is doing here is showing off his historical illiteracy and his anti-Christian bigotry. Isn't it strange, though, how many nominally Christian outlets are still so anti-Trump when Democrats are openly espousing bigotry against Christians, and Trump and Vance are giving the strongest defense of religion that we've heard in more than 50 years from the White House? Well, with Doge cracking open the books, it seems that many of these outlets have been on the take by the federal government, which would explain a lot. Joining us now to discuss is Josh Daws, the host of the Great Awakening podcast. Josh, thanks for being here tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Kara.
Great. So before we get into some of the financial webs here tonight, what are your thoughts on what we were hearing from President Trump and from J.D. Vance, and just the overall tone shift regarding religion and God's place in our everyday lives?
Oh man, it's been so heartwarming to see as a Christian who's someone who wants Christians to bring their full faith to the public square, just to see the way that they've welcomed, and just the shift in this administration from the last, just the welcomeness, pardoning the pro-life protesters that the Biden's administration cracked down on. It's just been so welcome to see.